After being delayed 2 times, Mickey 17 is finally out. Is it any good? Let's talk about it.
You're applying to be an expendable?
Yeah.
You read through the whole application.
Ain't that a kick in the head? Yeah, I should have read through it.
Hey everyone, I'm Josh. Welcome back to the channel. Today I'll be reviewing Mickey 17. Before I get started, make sure you do leave a like as it is free to do so. I'm also going to read you a quick plot synopsis just so you know what the movie is about. Mickey 17, known as an expendable, goes on a dangerous journey to colonize an ice planet. I've once again hit the bong, and this time I'm glad to be doing it, as Bong Joon-ho is one of my favorite directors working today. He's not only directed Parasite, which won Best Picture, Best Director, Best International Feature. It was such a masterpiece, but he's also done Memories of Murder, which is another one of his masterpieces. If you haven't seen that, go check it out. Snowpiercer, one that I love. Mother is one that I just watched. Really great film. A lot to really think about and digest from that one, and many other terrific films that will stand the test of time. And I think that Mickey 17 is no different, as it's quite literally as poignant as ever, with not only the themes that it tackles, but also the socio-political commentary that resembles the world that we live in today. You know what's interesting, after I left the theater, my head was just spinning because there were so many different ideas that were being thrown at me, like so many different themes, interesting moments in this film, and I was like, damn, no other director really does it like this today. Bong Joon-ho, plays with so many different genres and throws them into a blender. In this movie sense, he makes a nice, delicious sauce with them. It's actually quite absurd what he's able to do, and he adapts his book into something very different than what it actually was. Mickey 7 by Edward Ashton. I've read the book, and I think it's a very good book. I liked it, but I think Bong really did add some much needed characters and talking points, and he more or less kind of takes a Yorgos Lanthimos approach to this story, which I know some people won't like because I know Yorgos has a lot of haters, but to me, I really do love Yorgos's movies, and I kind of mean this in a good way, especially if you like Lanthimos's movies, especially like Poor Things, The Lobster. Those are kind of like two movies that I would compare this to one a little bit. It's very absurd, throws a lot at you at once. There's a lot to think about, a lot to digest in this one. My thoughts in today's review won't even really reflect my full thoughts, as I am still trying to develop more ideas on multiple watches. I'll be developing interesting complexions of what's actually going on underneath all these other themes that are being talked about. And I do know one thing though, this film has a really fun time at mocking a certain orange political figure in the US. And I'll say this, and with the way things are looking right now in the world, it's very timely. Themes that play the most important part in this movie to me are the imperialism and classism, as Marshall, the leader of this movie, played by Mark Ruffalo, who's basically like the Donald Trump figure, he tries to extend his colony on this new planet, and all the people in the ship are kind of below him. That's at least what he thinks. The classes are a big thing. All the passengers are precisely rationed with food. Everyone has the precise amount of calories that they can eat a day, while Marshall, sits back in his like luscious, sweet tasting sauces that his wife makes, and he's kind of like the most absurd, weird guy that thinks he's like hilarious and just is waiting for like reactions and all that. And Mickey 17 kind of ultimately felt like a mix of Snowpiercer, with the character of Mickey is kind of subject to the worst parts of life just because he is listed as an expendable. And it also reminded me of Okja, as there are creatures that are in this film called creepers that play a big part in the story, and how the leader kind of takes land from the people who are there first. Now onto our cast. Let's just start with the expendable himself, Robert Pattinson. And on first watch, I'm going to say this, I think that this is easily his second best performance yet, just behind the Batman for me. That could change on multiple watches. I do plan to watch this at least 2 more times, depending on, if it goes up on my rating scale, down on my rating scale. But I do fully expect it to grow on me because there's so many layers, behind it, present in this character. He plays not 1, not 2, not 3, but 18 different iterations of Mickey, and each one of them kind of deal with a different kind of trauma. But man, I think Robert Pattinson killed this role, and I really loved how they're kind of dealing with him and his character, his form, and like, you can really kind of take this as a coming of age movie because his character learns so many different things through his different lives that he has. Mickey 17 is very different from Mickey 18. Mickey 18 feels like such a more matured and established character. They kind of teach each other lessons, which I really did love. I know the Oscars are like a year away, but hell, man, they should just nominate him twice for the roles of Mickey 17 and Mickey 18. Naomi Ackie and Anna Maria Bartolome are also huge standouts for me as they both play a major role in how Mickey develops and, you know, how their relationships are with him. And I loved when they all had their own moments with Mickey and Rob. And I do wish that Anna Maria and Rob had more scenes together, because the one big emotional scene that they had kind of stole the show for me. It adds a lot more depth and, you know, character to Mickey himself. Really does. There's a little bit more to explore there. Naomi Ackie also has a lot of big standout moments for herself. She has a lot of great monologues in here, especially at the ending. I really did love her character and kind of how it's actually really funny how her and Rob meet and what they discuss together. It's some funny stuff there, but I do wish that there was a little bit of less exposition in this film, because they kind of started with like 20 minutes of exposition, then the title card starts. But I think if there was less exposition, we just got right into it. We could have added those scenes, more scenes of layering that I really wanted between like Rob and Anna Maria's characters. I think there would have been a lot more of that, and kind of leads me into some of my negatives on first watch, which I do think it needed 20 more minutes. If we're going to do all the exposition, we could have added a lot more time to like the middle of the film, third act, because it does rush a little bit from that second to third act. So that's a little bit of a kind of negative for me, because it feels like some of these relationships could have been boosted a little bit more, and you could have really felt that drama more in the ending if we had a little bit more time with these characters and a little more talking points there. Some other big positives for me are, of course, the cinematography and VFX, which just looks stunning. You know, it's a science fiction movie, so you're hoping for some great cinematography, and I love to hear, you know, the snowy planet was amazing. The set design of the ship was awesome. Kind of felt like an office, a prison, very claustrophobic. But once you went into like Marshall's cabins, it was like, you know, everything was so great. Lots of colors and all that. But other than that, it's very gray, you know, white, black ship. So there's some great things done on the set design here. Overall, Mickey 17 is another science fiction film from Bong Joon-ho that'll have me breaking it down for some time, as it really launches a lot at you at once. I loved how much more absurd it was in the book, and now it was very poignant with its themes and socio-political commentary. The cinematography and VFX are extremely polished, but it's the score that really left me surprised, and it's one that I'll be listening to a lot this year. Robert Pattinson as all the Mickeys was just perfect and deserves all the praise for this role, as he really lets his body sell every single emotion that he's trying to tell, which really hit every single mark for me. I'm going to give Mickey 17 a 9 out of 10. Of course, this is only on the first watch. I do plan to go see it again tomorrow, probably the day after tomorrow. I kind of am still thinking about it. I'm like, everything's, you know, happening in my brain at once. My brain is spinning all these ideas at once. But I will say I had such a great time with this one. It feels so very timely. The themes are interesting. It's very humorous. I love the, you know, creatures in here. The characters were amazing. I cannot wait to go see it again. Let me know if you guys saw Mickey 17. Leave your own thoughts down below in the comments. If you did enjoy this review, make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.